I'm Barry Tramel, and I say the biggest concern for the Thunder in this season is something they have not had to deal with: pressure.
I think it's whether their luck with injuries might run out this season. From the Opopco Studios in Oklahoma City, you're watching the Press Row. I'm Jenni Carlson. Barry, there's a lot of accolades flowing right now for this Thunder team. They opened the season for real and for good, and everything counts from here on out on Wednesday. Can it be as good as so many people are thinking it's going to be this year?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to have a better offseason. Look at the offseason. Look at the feel-good end of the season where the Thunder took the Lakers to 6 games, got the standing ovation walking off the Ford Center court. All of America sort of fell in love with the Thunder. Look what's happened since then. Durant signs the contract extension. Durant becomes a superstar. People all over the country start talking about the Thunder in relation to the Heat and the Lakers. Sports Illustrated makes them cover boys. This is a off-season in which the Thunder was elevated to the upper crust of the NBA, and this is foreign territory to these guys. Most of these guys have had very little exposure to the big-time NBA glare. You're talking about Durant, Westbrook, Green, the core of the team, Cephalosha, Kristich. These guys are new to the pressurized situation. Most of them have played a grand total of 6 playoff games. Most of them have 0 playoff series victories. It's going to be a difficult assignment to withstand that kind of glare. When the Thunder starts hit a struggle point, which they will. Let's say they go 2-4 over a 6-game stretch. What's going to happen then when people start saying, hey, what's wrong with this team? Why did they lose a home game to Milwaukee? How will this team respond? I like to think the answer will be good. I like to think they'll be fine, but you never know.
Yeah, and that's absolutely true. Something else you never know about are those injuries. And last season, the Thunder played with relatively few injuries to their starters, had very few missed games, and their core guys, those big 3, Durant, Westbrook, and Green, relatively injury-free. Now, granted, everybody's got their necks and their issues, but these guys played for the most part without any problem from start to finish. That could change. It could change in a heartbeat. It could change in practice today, for all we know. It could change in shoot-around. Stuff happens. Guys get hurt. The Thunder went through last year without much in the way of injury, and Barry, I just don't know if their good luck can continue. How they handle the pressure and the glare that's out there is something that they can manage, but injuries are just, how do you even know?
Well, you're right. They're due some bad fortune. They're due some injuries. They missed so few games last year. However, when you play a bunch of 20-somethings, when you play a bunch of young guys, that's one of the benefits. They don't get hurt. They're not like me. They're not an old fart that's going to get creaky bones and injured tendons. So Durant, Westbrook, and Green, maybe they will stay unscathed. You know, when you got a young body, you can sort of handle the rigors of the NBA. But you got to believe that the luck will run out at some point. There will be some games that are missed. Here in Oklahoma City, we saw it with Chris Paul. His 2 years here in town. Chris Paul is a very young guy. As hard as he plays, as rough as he plays, he goes out from game to game. The NBA is a grind. You got to think a guy like Russell Westbrook, the way he plays and attacks the basket and flies through the air, hard to avoid an injury from time to time.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what I think is so interesting is that this Thunder team has continued to add pieces, veteran pieces as role players, and you have to find the right fit because those guys are probably going to set the bench a lot. They're not going to be mainstays to this team, but you need a guy like a Mo Peterson or a guy like a Royale Ivy in case you have some injuries to those starters. You need those guys to be good bench guys, to be good locker room guys, why they maybe aren't getting as much playing time as they would like or as maybe they've got previously, but you have to have those guys in the fold in case you do have injuries. Barry, to this point, the Thunder's had good luck with injuries, lacking them, but they've also had good luck with having those reserve guys, and you want those guys to be there in case you need them. They have to hope that this group is as good sitting the bench as previous groups because who knows when they might be called into duty. Stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.